Alright YouTube, in this video I'm going to show you how to create this profile page. So this is the part 2 of social networking website. We are creating using PHP, MySQL and JavaScript and CSS. Fine. Now if you see, this is the page we are going to create from scratch. So let's start from 0. If I log in, this is the login section which we have already created in the previous video. Let's try to log in, and if you see, the nav bar has changed. Now if I click on profile, let me zoom out. So if you see, the profile is already filled up. So let's add some more different image, and if you wish to change the about, and if you wish to change the date of birth to January 1, and if you click on submit, you should see the data which you have entered is available. Fine. Likewise, if I click on log out and choose some other value which is not inserted, let's choose this email, and let's log in, click on submit, and if you get into the profile, this is fully fresh. Now let's try to insert. Open. I'm UI monk mail, and let me make it 25th December, and education is BSc, HSC and SSC, and if you click on submit, you see record updated successfully message, and your whatever you have typed is now available to view. So I'm in the profile section, and if I click on log out and log in again with the same email ID which I have used, uimonk@gmail.com, copy it from the database. Even after login, the data will be still available. Fine. This is what we are going to see in this video. So let's get started. Alright YouTube, in this video we are going to create the nav bar. Fine. Now for the nav bar, I'm going to use Bootstrap 4 nav bar. So let me get into the W3 school. For that, we'll copy paste the code from there. So let's choose our nav bar. This seems to be okay. Just copy it, and we know we have our inc folder which we have created in the previous video, and just above the body I would like to paste the nav bar. So this header is available for all the pages which I created yesterday. Fine. Now we don't need this drop down for now, so let me comment the whole list item. The first one is home, the second one is timeline, the third one is profile, the fourth one is message. So we'll create the relevant pages in the coming sections. So for now, let me show you how does it looks. So right now we are not logged in yet, so the logo, let's add our channel name. Fine. Now we have not logged in yet, so we don't have to show home, timeline, profile and message. we only have to show these 4 links once the user is logged in my sense. Once we logged in, a session created, which we have created in the previous video. After login, if you see, these are the sessions which we have created. So if this session exists, then only show this li. So let's write a PHP. If the session is set, then only show this whole li. So right now the session is not set, so you won't be able to see the links. Once the session is not set, I want to show some other links like register and login. So now if you see, register and login is available. Once I logged in, let me log in first. So that we need our username and password to check. Let us add the link as well, which we have created already. So database is social network, register. This is the ID we have used to log in. Refresh it. Click on login. Now let's try to log in. If I click on submit, session will be created and you should see the links. Session is created, but we could not see the links. If is set, refresh it. So let's check the member. Sorry for that, we have to use session start here to use this session. PHP session underscore start, and now you could see the links. So let's add logout as well. Logout.php. Our session has been already started. On the index page we have already started the session. So on the index, let me remove that. So we are using the header, session start on the header. So if I click on logout, spelling mistake, .php, back, click on logout and you're done. So on login.php also we have used session start. We don't need this. So let's check where all we have used session start. If I refresh, fine. Now if I log in with the same ID, you won't see any error. You will be able to log in properly and the links are properly visible. After logout, you could see the relevant links. So in this video, let's create the profile section. Once we log in, the user can edit his profile, like uploading images and uploading relevant data like about, gender, date of birth, education and country. So let's create a data table for that. New, let's have the table name as profile, and we need a user ID. ID is the primary key, profile picture, and a date underscore added. So eleven columns. Already we have 4. Then we need a 7. ID, user ID. Let me copy paste all the things. Date of birth, education, country in which he lives, profile picture, and the date where he had it or updated his profile. It is going to be int, it is going to be int, it is going to be varchar 200, it is going to be varchar 200, and it is going to be date. And the education is going to be varchar 200, again varchar 200, and then we have country, which is int, and profile pic. Let's add it as varchar 200, which is going to be the file name and the date and time. And let's make this ID as a primary key. You just have to tick the radio button, which is auto increment, and the primary key is set by default. Click on save. Now we have another table, which is profile. Fine. Now let's create, let us log in first. If you click on profile, nothing is happening. Let's create a page for that. Control N, Control S, profile.php. Here it is going to be form. So let's link this in our header on the profile.php. If I refresh and click on profile, you can see the form. So what we need is, we just need the same login form or the same register form for this profile.php. If I refresh, you should see the profile page, but the form data is going to be changed. Edit your profile. So let's add what are the fields required. So the first one is going to be the about. Let's add a text area. If I refresh, let's see how does it looks. We'll comment this is needed. And to add a bootstrap class, this is so big. Let's add the row as 5 or 3. Now that's okay. Now let's add the profile picture. Copy paste this. Here input type is going to be file. Let's add the class form control. and we need to add the name attribute, profile underscore pic. Let's add the name attribute here as well. About, likewise. We need gender, input type radio, name equal to gender, value equal to male. Copy the same thing and paste it for the female. Value is going to be F. Refresh. Have some space. So this for is not needed. Once it will be only needed when we use ID, and in this case we are not going to use ID for that. So let's leave it as it is, and then we need a date of birth. Input type date, name equal to date of birth, and the class form control. Actually I should have copy pasted the form, it is getting so much time. And then we need education 1, education 2, education 3. So it is going to be the single, and type text. Name is going to be education 1, education 2, and let's add one more thing for education 3. 1, 2, 3. And country, profile pic we have already added. So for country, let's get from the Google a list of country SQL. So you will get a kit file. So from there you can just copy paste into the SQL MySQL text box. So it will create the not login. I just copy it from here. Let's copy it from here and from the till the bottom. I think I am able to copy it. Copy, control and paste, and let's change the table name. Countries is totally fine. So on the MySQL, click on the database, click on the SQL and just paste it, click on go. Okay, the table will be created. Now if you see, country table is created and the data is populated. Fine. Now let's add the same select countries. So here we would be adding select tag, and the data we will be fetching it from the database. So we'll use the same place over here. Open the PHP, and here what we are going to do is we are going to write the SQL query for selecting. So we have used the select over here. So let's copy that. We don't need this numbers. Copy till here and get into the profile page. And now we want select all from countries. COUNTRIES. We don't need where clause. Result, let's change the variable name. SQL country result country, and select star from country. And if we don't need this, actually the data will be there, and we just need the let's use this, or let's use this nationality. Yeah, no, short name. Let's try to echo. Let's see how does it looks. We will just get the list. What we do is we'll create a HTML option tag, concatenate, and again refresh, and now just a condition is available. What we have to do is let's create a variable called options, and we'll echo. Actually the thing is I'm just fetching the first value. We have to run the while loop. So here is the code. Let's copy it. Now let's try. Now you can see the list of countries available. Fine. And then this is not needed. So on the edit profile we have some list. For now let's skip this and let's work on these fields other than profile pic. So let's get all the name, and we need to add value equal to let's get the num code. And here the name is going to be country. Fine. Now let's get all the names. Country, I'm sorry for that. We have date of birth, we have gender, we have about, and we have profile pic, which we will leave temporary for now. So in the submit button, if the submit button is set, let's see the form submit value goes to the same page, profile.php. And if you notice, we have success and error message, and if we click on submit, and if it is set, then we'll fill all the input field value which we will get from the request. About, these are input field, and now I have filled all the values along with the data added. We don't need this token, and we are checking either if these values are not set, then we are adding a control P. About, let me fill this all values. Fine, I have added. So we don't need this mail functionality. And we just need the insert part. We'll just comment the select statement, which is not required for now. And now we have to add the relevant fields. We have to select the table name, which is profile. We need about, gender, date of birth, education 1, education 2, education 3. Let's see what are the names which I have already actually given. I believe it is CD1. No, the full format. And finally we have country. And now we have to insert it. Gender, date of birth, education, country. And we just have to add the ID as well, which we'll get from the session. So on the login.php, we'll get this session and save it here, and we'll pass this user ID. And the column name here is user underscore ID. Fine. Now let's give the success message as profile. Actually it should be created, but let's add updated. Now let's try to see if there is no error. Line 119, control G 119. Curly brace missing. So this is for if, this is for else, and this is for the condition. Let's minimize this. Refresh. So it is for now. So let me add male, select a date of birth, education, anything, submit. On line number 9, control G9. It could not find the about, so we don't have the name about. Name is actually there. Let me check again. Name is there, it should not give an error. See whether it is inserted. No. Mail. So before inserting, let me echo out these values so we can understand whether we are getting data or not. I'm sorry. Mail, date of birth, anything, test, submit. So test, everything works fine. Date of birth is also working, mail is also working, but about is not about. We could not get the about. Why this about is making issue? Actually, name is already there. I'm sorry for that. Mail, date of birth, submit. Now education is not available. I think I have given ED1, ED2, ED3. On line number 38, control G38. Submit. And profile updated. Let's check the data, and if you see, the data is inserted properly, and the date added is not proper. Let me see why. Country, I have not added the date added. Fine, let's check. Mail, I have mistakenly it has not entered, thank God. Let's select 25th December. Test, any value, click on submit. and if you see, the data what we needed is actually added. Fine, let's get into the third section. Now if you see, we have a problem here. Since we are logged in, and once I click on submit button, my same values are getting inserted more than once. So that should not be the case. That means if I am the user 11, so that means the data related to user 11 should be only one on the profile page, but here on each submit it is getting inserted again and again. So that should not be the case. Let's delete it. So if you see, so let's type BSc HSC SSC. So these are the education in India. So fine. Now on page load, what I need is, I want the value to be displayed and fetched, displayed here, whatever values is here. So right now the UID 11 is logged in, so the logged in data should be displayed over here. So let's create that. So for that we need the select query on the top. Select star from profile, where user ID is equal to the session ID. So let's get this and make it on the top, so it will be available for both of them, where user ID equal to the session ID. If you get more than one, if it is equal to 1, that means you are going to write update query. If it is not 1, that means the data is not there, then you need to write the insert query. So which you need to have, let me remove this. Cut this, and on the insert, so here it is what getting inserted, paste it over here, and get the insert query and paste it over here. And now we will write the update query. Fine, that's good. Check the score is available, just to avoid naming confusion. So here, as I said, here it is going to be update query. So before that, we need to fetch all the values. We have used a while loop here. Likewise, while selecting, select star, let's have it over here, and let's have the select query. And here the SQL query is going to be select, and let's add the suffix as display values. and on each while we'll fetch the value and give it into a variable. So we will be fetching the column names starting from about equal to dollar about. Likewise, let's add the suffix to row as well. Gender, date of birth, education 1, education 2, education 3, and then the country, which is actually value, and then data added, which is not required for now. Fine. Now let's have this name variable. Let's try to echo first. We don't need while loop, I believe, because it is going to be a single value. So let's echo out all these values. About, semicolon, and about should be fetched and displayed. Yes. Likewise, let us display all the values. Education 1, education 2, education 3. Refresh, and these are the values which is fetched from the database. Fine, that is great. Now let us display these values on the input field. On the text area, PHP ternary operator is set colon. If it is set, then display this or display this. We're checking if it is set, which is about. If about is set, then display about, else leave it. Let's refresh, and there is no value. Again, the value is empty now. We should have echo here, and if I try to refresh, you could see it the same way. Sorry for that. Let's try to add for all the actually here should be value equal to let's add single quotes because we have added double quotes already inside. And here the value which we have used is education 1, 2 and 3. If I refresh, we could see the values, and let's try to add this to our date of birth as well. Actually, date of birth is missing. Fine, leave it. no issues. Now if I refresh, the value stays there, and here now we are going to add if condition just like we did. Now we don't need values. We just want the value to be checked. If it is set, CHECKED, if the name, if the gender is set, and gender is equal to M, then make it check. Let's see. Yes, it is checked. Fine, it is working. Let me add this to this as well by just changing it from male to female. Refresh. Now female is checked. And male equal to, this is how it should be. Fine. So if I make it F here and refresh, it's female now. But if I make it M and refresh, now it's male. Fine, it is working. So now it's time for the update. So we are successfully able to fetch the values and display it. Now after rating, like I am Vishal and I would like to add some more value, and if I click on submit, here data should get updated, but it's not updating, which we will see in the next section. So now we are successfully able to fetch the values which we have already inserted and able to display on the field. Now we just have to write the update query. So here on submit, what is happening is it is fetching all the values from the input field, and if it is not empty, then again I am going to check whether the ID is already present. If it is present, then we have to write update query, else we need to insert. So here is the code where we have update query. So let's get the update query code. Fine. So if you wish, we fix SQL update. So here the table name is going to be profile, set some values with comma separated, dollar. Likewise we need to add some more values, 8, and here the ID, where ID equal to user ID, which we get from the session which I have used on the top. Fine. Now let's see what are the values which we need to update. About, these are the table names. Let's add proper table name first. About, and this is about, and this is value which we fetch from the input field. DOB is already not there, so, and this is table name. education1, and let's see what are the values. This edu1 which we are fetching from the input field. Likewise education2, edu2, and then we have education3, edu3, and then we have country, same country, and find that stuff. And I believe I have added the date, but it is not available. It has merged. It's select gender. So let me select gender. It's 2 times. Select DOB. So let's add the value attribute. If it is set, then display the DOB. So let's check by refreshing. The value able to display. That means we are on the right path. Now I believe everything is set. So let's try to see what is there. So let's change our about. I am Vishal, and let me add my name as well. I'm not able to type. Refresh. I'm not able to type. Let me see why. Refresh. I could type in the text editor. That means my keyboard is working, but I'm not able to type here. Yeah, it's working now. So if I click on update, I should see Vishal Varghese instead of Vishal. So I can see. So let's see. Not. The data does not seem to be updated. Refresh. Profile. Let's try to update some other thing. Click on submit. Profile updated successfully, and we could see the UI monk and on browse, and here it is not changing. Why? Localhost PHP admin. Profile. It's Vishal here, but okay, let's make it female and click on submit. And I'm not able to update it. That is strange. Let me log out and log in with ID 11. ID 11 UI monk 1. Submit. Profile. Okay, let me type UI monk and click on submit. On profile, it is still Vishal, but here it's UI monk. There is a problem with update. Let me see what it is. Actually, there is a naming conflict between these and these. So fine, let's add underscore u underscore fetched. Alt Z, break. Likewise let's add for this as well. Fine, if I refresh and let's try to change, click on submit. It says updated, but data is not updated. If you see and click on file, after submit it is not getting updated. I believe the user ID is causing the problem. It could not able to see where we are saved. Monk, make it female, even though I'm not on submit. Let's try to refresh. UI monk female, click on submit, browse, UI monk male, but I have clicked on female, it is not working. Let's try to make it again. Vishal, click on submit, refresh, but on refresh UI monk, after submit, what is happening is that it is not able to fetch the values and display it. So for that, let's see what we can do. After submit, it is not able to fetch the values and display it. So it is because we have already used it over here. So let's try to copy this and paste it after update. If it is successful, then do this. Let's try. UI monk by Vishal, click on submit, and you can see UI monk by Vishal. Let's try to make our date as 25th December, click on submit, and let's see 25th December, BSc IT, HSC with IT, and click on submit, and yes, we could able to load it. But if I click on female and click on submit, it is not able to see. Let me see why. It is because we have not added gender here. Gender equal to $gender. Refresh. Let's make this female. Click on submit. Gender underscore fetched. Female, submit. Are we fetching it properly? Gender fetched, and the column here is gender. Comma is fine, and here also comma is fine. One time. If it is right, click on submit, and yes, click on mail and type I am Vishal, Click on submit. I'm Vishal and I'm Neil. And yeah, fine. I believe the space is coming from the text area values. I'm sorry for that. And yeah, the space is gone. Click on submit. And, fine. Now let's work on the update section. So choose file section. We could able to update because if you see the data is getting entered only once. So now let's work on the image section. So the very first thing, once I click on submit, what is going to happen is it is getting into the function called isSetSubmit, and here there is two sections for insert and for update. So just above this, let's add our file code, and here this is the name. So let's get the name of the input field, profile pic, and to use this file code we have to write an attribute called encrypt type multipart form data. Fine. Now you can able to get the input field values. So if I show you, let's push it inside our images folder which I have saved here, opened here. At present it is blank. So let's try to upload. So I have downloaded the images from Google, which is my image. So let me choose the downloaded image. Let's see one. So if you see, at present the images folder is blank, but if I click on submit, on line number 46 and 47, so here I have to write values using request. Actually I have not refreshed it, so if you see it is blank for now. So if you click on, let me choose this one. If you see, our name is one.jpg, our image name is one.jpg. If I click on submit, record updated successfully, and on the images folder you could see the uploaded image. Fine, it is working. If you want to see more, let's upload another image, this time number 2.jpg. Click on submit, and on the images folder you could see the 2. Fine, but the thing is I have used the random name to save it. So that random name would be the value from between these, and then I have added the date and time, and finally I have pushed the images to the location which is this one, this location. Fine. Now, so for now we can have the file names. This is, which is this one, new file name. So why don't we update and insert these values? So get the profile pic equal to single quotes comma, here new file name will pass a new file name. Likewise on the insert as well, profile pic will have at the front, and this is the new file name which holds our file name, comma, bill codes, dollar, profile name. Let's try. Let me delete these values, these two images. So for now, the profile section is blank, profile column is blank. So let me add a profile pic. This time I'll choose one. So after submit, the images will be populated to this folder. The image is populated to this folder, and then the image will be clicked over here. And fine. Now, if any case you want to see the image, what you can do is, let's add img tag, and let's give the height equal to 300 and the same width and here we'll add the PHP is set question mark colon and here we'll get the file name on the select. This is the column name which will store here. The same way, after update we have used the same thing. Fine. Now we'll display this. If it is set, then echo images slash then echo this. Let's try this. Echo double quotes images concatenate. Let's try to refresh. Let's see the SRC inspect. Actually what should happen is the images, the data which we have seen here should be displayed on the SRC. So it is displaying as $profile pic. It's not a string, it's a PHP variable. Refresh. Let's test again. And now you could see the file name itself, but images, I could not see the images. So for that, let's add dot. If I refresh, I should see the images. Fine. Now if you want, add br or we'll make this inside a column dot row dot call 6 and again dot call 6. This is for image and this is for image upload file. But let's try to upload one more value for image, which is this one. Click on submit, and yes, image is updated successfully. And let's see some values. Let's see some profile. Let me use some other user ID and check whether we are getting without any error. Login profile, and yes, it is showing as a broken image. We don't want that. So you want to add PHP if is set this profile pic variable, then only show, or else do not show. PHP, close the curly bracket, refresh. Now it's gone. Now let's try to update, which is the first one, and let's try I'm UI Monk. The 26 BSCIT SC Jesse is an SSC and whatever. Click on submit, and on the profiles page you can see two datas. Okay, click on profile, and yes, the value which you have filled is available. That's it for this video. Get these source code in the description.